We're in Poole today for Used Boat to take a look at a model that we couldn't quite believe we hadn't featured before. It's the Fairline Squadron 58. Now this model was one of Fairline's most successful of the early noughties, so let's jump on board and find out why. As you may have guessed from the name Squadron, this is a luxury flybridge model, and the layout up here really is superb. You've got these triple helm seats with access all around and clever flip-up bolsters so you can stand at the wheel. Then to the fore, we've got a large sunbathing area, real social space so the helmsman doesn't feel too cut off. And then back aft, we've got this large dinette with full wet bar and grill facilities. Access to the main deck is superb as well, with this central staircase in addition to the more traditional aft cockpit staircase. Now these kind of stairs have been phased out in recent years in favour of more saloon space down below. However, they have many advantages, not least of which is the ability to communicate quite easily from the helm down to the galley. However, on a used boat like this, there are a couple of things to look out for, such as the seal on the hatch up here, which can get a little bit worn after a few years' use. Down here in the saloon of the Fairline Squadron 58, and it's really easy to see why this model is considered part of Fairline's golden generation. This is a 2008 model, but the upholstery on here has barely aged at all. The high gloss look and curved edges isn't so fashionable these days, but it's much safer, with no sharp edges to bash your head on. The Squadron 58 had roughly an 8-year production cycle from early 2001 to the end of 2009, and along the way there were a couple of design tweaks during its lifespan. For example, these portholes here, on earlier models they were much smaller oval shaped affairs, and you'd also notice in the saloon on earlier models that there was gold effect on some of the fixtures. Whilst it's a matter of personal taste, for my money I'd go for the larger windows with the chrome. Now Fairline built more than 200 of these hulls. The vast majority came fitted with twin Volvo Penta D12s, either the less powerful 715 horsepower version or the more powerful 775 horsepower. There are a couple on the market with Caterpillar C12s, and these are a rugged and reliable alternative, provided you've got the support of a local Caterpillar engineer. Whichever engine you have, you've got the reassurance of a Bernard Olenzinski hull, which can cut through whatever Mother Nature can throw at you. Now if you're concerned about the ins and outs of manoeuvring a 58-foot vessel, then it's worth tracking down a model fitted with the optional stern thruster and cockpit controls. And whilst we're speaking about optional extras, it's worth noting that this model, with air conditioning, was an extra £30,000 when new. So it's worth factoring that into your negotiations when talking to a broker about possibly buying a model without air conditioning. Down here on the galley now on the Fairline Squadron 58, and everything's as you'd expect from a luxury flybridge, hard-wearing surfaces and really high-quality facilities. The one unusual thing down here that's worth mentioning is this clever flip-up hatch which leads down to the utility room. Now on some models you'll find a double or a single berth in there, but if you want to spend longer at sea, it's worth trying to track down a model with the extra utilities in there, things like a washer dryer or a fridge freezer. This is the master suite, and as you may have noticed, this is right up in the bow end. These days on a flybridge of this size, you might expect to get a full beam, a midships master suite. However, owner or not, this is not a bad place to sleep. You've got plenty of headroom, the bed is a good length, 6 foot 6 inches in total, plenty of light coming in from overhead, and you've got your own separate shower and heads compartment, which is completely cut off from the main day heads, which is over on the port side. So there you have it, that's our roundup of the Fairline Squadron 58. This model is on the market through Sunseeker Southampton for €620,000. The previous owner is French, so you would have to change all the internal electrics from French to English. But with the exchange rates being what they are at the moment, it could be a great opportunity. Otherwise, you can find models on the market from £425,000 to £475,000. To read our full report, pick up the June edition of Motor Boat Yachting.